How's it going?
It is going, my friend. You just walked out of State Farm Arena. Eh,
Did I'm right across the street?
Okay, I need to know, number one, how does this compare to night one?
I knew you were going to do that to me. Um, man, okay, I will say this. Night one was incredible. Night one was like I've been saying this to people. It was really high energy. There weren't any like. It felt like they hardly took a breath the whole show, which was great. This night two, it just felt different. Like the crowd was crazy. It was just very the energy. I don't know. Both nights definitely had the energy of like, oh, we haven't been here in a long time.
Mm,
We really need to bring it. But also like, um, just the sense of the history that they have with this
yep.
town. Like Eddie was talking a lot about that '94 show, and I don't know if
Really?
that's yeah. And he brought it up a few times. He when he introduced Dissident, he said that they were playing it because of its connection to that show.
Right. Sure, the single.
And yeah, and then he before Better Man, he talked about how
Oh,
they took the solo from that performance and laid it over the studio recording. So yeah, I don't know if that's why there was so much. It was like very verses heavy, a lot of like vitology. I don't know if that's why, but I don't know. It just felt there was a real sense of like history there.
I was wondering ahead of the tour itself if, you would get, because we did that tour preview show last Tuesday, wondering what would open each show in each city and what deep cut you might get. And I was thinking to myself, if there's going to be deep cuts in Atlanta, it's probably going to be from that versus Vitality thing era because there is that history there. It's not like there's not a lot of history in South Florida shows, as cool as a lot of those have been. But
Right,
Atlanta, as
right.
everybody knows, is so legendary that maybe they pull from that. Especially not having been there in what 13 years.
13 years, and that was a festival show. So
Yeah,
they haven't done a non-festival show since 2003, um, which is a long time.
yeah.
Yeah, and I remember you talking on that preview episode. There was this question. I feel like of like, would they, or maybe it was just a question I had. Would they play like new stuff? Would they play a lot of the older stuff? And it feels like night one, it was like a lot of the stuff that they hadn't played here because they haven't been here.
Mhm.
It's like 20, we got like two avocado songs and some other like 2000 stuff. Whereas tonight, aside from the dark matter, you've got the set list in front of you.
I do.
Aside from the dark matter songs, there wasn't a single post yield song in the set list,
Yeah.
was there?
Uh, um. No.
Yeah.
No.
So this definitely felt like the sort of history show.
What did you like more? There's no wrong answer here, but like just curious what you personally preferred.
That's a tough question. I don't know.
I only ask tough
I
questions,
know
Chris.
you do. You're right. That's right. I mean, you're like a true journalist. You're not letting me off easy. Um, I would, if you asked me that like cold in a vacuum, I'd say, well, I'd maybe prefer newer stuff or more stuff I hadn't seen. But tonight, it's like, sometimes like reading the set list doesn't tell you the whole story.
Yep.
It's so much about like the energy and the feeling.
Mhm.
And this night is kind of like both because the set list is incredible, but also the energy is incredible. Like when they went into Leash, that place went nuts.
Yes.
It like exploded. And he said that it was Josh's idea to play Leash. I don't know if that's true, but um,
Now you say they go crazy for Leash, and I would too because I love that song. It's not played
mhm.
all that often, but they haven't been playing Rearview Mirror either.
That's
So
true. Yeah, yeah.
when you get to that moment in the set list, it's going to end the main set because it's always one of the two at this point in the last couple of years.
Hmm.
And you see Porch again. You're like, all
Yeah.
right, well, I love Porch, but like, man, four shows, no RVM, and then they play it in the encore, an untraditional spot for it in the last couple of years, with people bouncing off the walls. At that point,
They were. They were. I think that not as much as Leash. I think there was because there was a sense with Leash of like this is rare
yeah,
and this is special. Like this is, but they definitely got excited after Rear rearview mirror, and it was because they opened the encore with Off He Goes.
Was that full band, by the way?
Full band
Wow,
sitting
cool.
down. And then they did. I'm in my post-show haze.
Yeah, of course.
Remind me what they did right after that. It was another.
Black.
It was Black. Jesus Christ! Yes, it was Black.
How do you forget Black?
We'll get to Black actually.
Okay.
But and then Ed goes one more slow one, and then he kicked into Rearview Mirror, and so it was. Yes, there was a lot of excitement. There was kind of like a sense of, I never know if I'm just projecting this, but there was a sense of like, holy shit, we got it. But you know, the thing, I knew it was going to be a special set list when we got Evolution 4th, because that's very early.
Yeah.
Right? It's usually later in the set. So it's kind of like, okay, the back half of the set might be pretty interesting if that's coming so early. And then to get like Hail, Hail, so late.
Right.
Getting Rearview Mirror, third song of the encore. It was wild.
I'm very jealous. I'm not gonna lie. I was watching our Discord, and I was watching, Live Footsteps, which is printed out here, and this is the analogs that was, and just being like, God damn it, like so many fun songs that, I can't say that I personally have never seen any of these songs. I've seen all of them, but not that matters. But like, you're talking about an experience in a vibe in the room, and it's like even if you've seen these songs before, maybe the guy next to you hasn't.
Yeah. So okay. Yes, and that's. Can we go to Black, because that's kind of a perfect segue? Because Black might be my favorite song of all time. Like, it's in the running, right? It's like such a meaningful song to me. Can't hear it enough. But this was like an insane Black. Okay, I have to say this. The most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. The lady next to me in the middle of the song starts Shazamming it, which I don't know. I want to study that brain.
I love her so much.
Yes.
I love her so much.
But anyway, that's a sidebar. But so they get to the solo, and Mike is like killing it
somewhere else.
He is, because he starts like crouching down like Hendrix at Woodstock, right?
Yeah.
And it's like he is becoming the personification of all the like beautiful, intense sorrow in that song.
Mm.
And then Ed comes over to him and kneels down next to him and sings the "We Belong Together" to him. And
cool.
then
That's cool, man.
Incredible. And then the guy next to me, who's there with his wife, and I see them arm in arm, sort of swaying to it. He turns to me and he goes, he's like 50 years old. We had talked earlier. He turns to me and he goes, "We danced to that song in high school, and then she broke up with me. But we got back together, we got married, and it came completely full circle tonight."
They belong together.
They belong together.
What? That's a great story. You're not going to hear that on the boot.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Wow.
It was incredible.
That is so cool. Yeah. That's my favorite part of doing all this. We love to know what songs are played and in what order. And, it's been the first time in 33 shows since they played all those yesterdays. I was at that performance, by the way, here in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
But that's great. We all have to dish about it in the Discord and online and whatever. But hearing a story like that and the woman Shazamming the song, first of all, how did you even notice she was Shazamming it? You weren't laser focused on the performance, Chris?
Well, it's hard. It's hard not to notice when the phone is like right next to you.
She's holding it up.
You have that radiating. Yeah, right. Because I guess it's trying to hit. It's like
that pulsing blue dot.
That's what it was. That radiating circle, and it's just like I can't not see that.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
And I also can't not register that because it's one of the most absurd things I've ever seen. But I very quickly got back to what was important.
That's great. Anything else stick out to you from these two nights?
Well, so I mean, all those yesterdays I love. I know half of your podcast doesn't. That's okay.
I like how you phrased that.
I had never seen Off He Goes. So
nice,
great to get. In terms of the two nights, man, I mean, getting Inside Job on night one was something else, and especially coming into it right after that Zevon cover because it was the second
Yeah.
song in the encore. I don't know. It's been so long since I've been here, and I went into this week saying that like I hope, not that I didn't think they would bring it, right? But it's like that thing of like, well, I hope they've missed us as much as we've missed them, you know? And it really feels like they did. Yeah, it was just, it was great. I mean, they played late tonight. They played later than
I
they
know. I
did
was watching
on
along. I go, it's 11
Tuesday.
o'clock.
Yeah.
What's going on?
And Ed was like, he was like, we don't want to leave. They were just kind of like lingering on stage, and like interacting with the crowd. Dead Pioneers came out and did Rocking in the Free World with them, which I always love that when they bring like all the
very communal,
all those. Yeah,
especially considering the you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, the things that they go ahead.
The complex sort of. Yeah, I know.
How
what you
free
mean.
is the world that they're singing about? Not too much.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So maybe it's it's an optimistic song in this regard.
We can hope.
A call to action, if you will. Anyway, I gotta pop back in because I'm sort of at a place where I should be doing something else.
Yeah,
And
I got a long train ride, so I'm with you.
Thank you for popping in, Chris, and get home safely. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, all right, man.
All right.
Take care.
All right. Thanks, everybody.